Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing my first ever build video, which I'm surprised my first video wasn't a build video because I'm obsessed with building. Definitely my favorite mode. Well, maybe second favorite because I do really love gameplay. Okay, so today I am in San Myshuno, as you could probably tell. I'm in one of the smaller apartments. It's 2B Jasmine Suite. We will be trying to make this a cute like coquette baby pink cozy apartment. First of all, I want to start with the layout. I think I want it to be 2 bedrooms, like a kid's room or a teen room, and then a couple room for parents. I think this is an okay size. So I just placed the little simple lights randomly. I will definitely not be keeping them, or at least not in this lighting setting, because this is not very cozy at the moment. It might be tight, but I think we could do a tiny little kitchen here, maybe just this corner, and then the rest can be a tiny little dining room and a tiny little living room. Then we get a bedroom here, and then I can have a bathroom here that you get access to through here, just so guests can use it. So this is the layout I'll be sticking to. This very colorful wallpaper is throwing me off. I'm just gonna quickly change it into the drywall, and now I'll probably replace the lights so they make more sense. So this is slightly tidier than what was going on before. Let me just quickly pick a floor. I was thinking for something very light Coquette vibes, we could do something like this, and it doesn't bring too much attention to the floor because I do want to clutter it with carpets. I think this is a good flooring to use, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in the bedrooms. I think we'll do the same wood for the kitchen because I feel like lower budget houses don't have different floorings. So yeah, we're just going to quickly find some sort of tiles. I think these are pretty cute and simple. I'm not trying to make this seem low budget. I'm just trying to make it seem homey and lived in. I want a baby pink wall color. Something like this is pretty cute. We're gonna go ahead and try that out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it. I'm just gonna put it in every room for now. I do have the tool mod, but I think this door looks pretty realistic in the space, and it doesn't like not match. It obviously doesn't match with the hallway, but we're going to ignore that. Let's just start by adding the doors. Oh wow, okay, so this is the identical one, and we're just going to use it throughout the whole house. You have a door here, a door here, and a door here. I'm quickly gonna press function F5 just so we get the smaller quarter tile placement. It's very good for builds. Okay, so doors are done. Now let's just start by decorating one of these corners. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this corner. Wait, is it just me or is this wall lilac? Okay, so I'm quickly going to check if this is actually pink. Okay, we could go for this. It might be a little bit pinker. Alright, let's go back to this corner. I want to see what colors would look cute. Oh, that light blue's pretty cute there. It is a bit more coastal. I can't tell. I think we can stick with that and then add a bunch of plants. You guys don't know this because this is my first build video, but I love plants so much. I fill my builds with them. I don't know what color pot I want. Maybe some lilac flowers. It's definitely blending in with the back, so I actually think the yellow is a nice touch. So I'm going to keep it like that. Maybe we should do some wall decorations. I don't know if I want to make this slightly run down because see these grime patches from For Rent, they're pretty intense. You can't just hide them away. You will definitely tell. Maybe if I do one and clutter it up enough, it won't be that visible. So I'm going to add a few things like boxes on the floor. There we go. Also, by the way, this is no CC and only packs I own. I own quite a decent amount of packs. I don't complain about that, but I don't own anywhere near to all of them. I own most of the expansion packs, except none of the very new ones. Like I don't own Life and Death. I don't own Businesses and Hobbies, Enchanted by Nature, especially not Adventure Awaits. Not to say I don't want them, I just don't have them right now. Okay, that dark green is a really good complementary color. I think we're gonna add it more in certain parts of the house. This is probably gonna be one of my longer videos. I might even call it a long play, just because build, especially in real time, this is not a voiceover, take a really long time to make. and I'm not trying to rush it. I like this there. Maybe different frame color. Maybe we should do like a big stuffed teddy bear. I think that would be very adorable. Yes, this is very cute, guys. I don't know about you. I don't know if this stool will be functional, but I don't really mind who's gonna sit in the very corner of this room when the sofa's probably gonna be around here. It is gonna be a family home, but not young kids, or at least I don't think so. We could add a crib, but I don't think so. This is gonna be the parents' room, I've decided, and this is either going to be a teen or a child's room. I don't think we'll add a crib or a toddler bed. Let's go into miscellaneous decorations. Yeah, I've never understood this piece. I've used it before to decorate, but if you could please explain to me what it is in the comments, I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, pile of presents? Is that weird? I think that's weird to have a pile of presents in your doorway, but it was Christmas recently, so maybe those are just some late gifts. Oh, we should put some cushions on the floor. I mean, I don't know why they have that in cluttered bedrooms, but it's quite aesthetic. I'm gonna use my tool mod to slightly rotate these. Move it. There we go. Now they're realistically positioned, or as much as I can bother, because you could obviously do a really elaborate position that really complements the room or something like that, but these colors don't really go, but something about it is intriguing me. We could do a light blue and a navy. It goes into the color scheme, but it still pops, which I like. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm just gonna do some pink boxes. Oh wait, do I want these? I don't know. I was really keen on these. You know what? I'm just gonna go to the wall now because I'm starting to feel this is slightly too cluttered, just because I don't want this to be a really laggy build. Is there anything I can do on the wall that might even add some lore? If you do want to see me like start a let's play in this house, which I'm sure you don't, please let me know if you do want to, not if you don't want to. That seems kind of pointless. Oh, I really like this. I feel like it definitely goes the Coquette vibes, just not in this corner. We could maybe put it somewhere there. I'll get back to that. Wow, these paintings from Growing Together, they're pretty nice. Okay, I'm gonna do that. And then the tiniest wall decoration. Oh, this is cute. Okay, that's my corner, I think. I hate that these walls are so tall, but you obviously can't change it because it's an apartment. So I'm just kind of going to ignore what is above my field here, because I guess it wouldn't be that common to have things really high on your walls, because how can you get it down, or how do you put it up there? So I think it's a realistic touch. Okay, so I just want to plan where the couch or the sofa is gonna go. We could do a little entryway sofa. This matches the vibe so well. Is that too big an entry for a small apartment? It might be. It's just that's a weird sofa to use as your main sofa. I don't want a fireplace. I don't know where I'd want that. Probably here. Let's just use some placeholders. There we go. Ooh, sage green is nice in Coquette builds. And then we need the kitchen, which I said would be here, but I put the door here. So just to make this slightly more aesthetic, I'll move the door over here and then put some kitchen placeholders. Ooh, it's gonna be difficult. I don't have that many counter options, and I want something that fits the vibe. This is pretty good, but ooh, the green could work, or is that too out of place? White could work. It would just be very soft, which, you know, is fine. Okay, I'll put white for the moment, but I might change it. Let's just add a simple little layout, something like that. Maybe one more, so then the fridge doesn't touch the window. This is cute so far. I'm happy about this. I don't have an exact family in mind for who to live here. I have the general idea. Let's put some cupboards up. Is it just me, or does the cabinet seem like a brighter white than the counter? I think I might use these mismatched cabinets and counters. Okay, and then we can have a tiny little dining table in the middle, maybe with 4 seats. I am just actually gonna do placeholders for this, because finding the right dining table and chairs is not gonna be quick. I haven't done a single rug yet, so I want to do that. I don't hate that. surprisingly. I want to pick some hobbies for this family because I feel like whatever's in your house really rotates around what your hobbies are and what you like to do. Just because of how cozy this person is, it's probably going to be something like knitting. So I might just add this here and give them a little knitting studio. And then I guess we could also do some kids stuff, but I'll probably have the kids stuff stay in the kids room, even though that's unrealistic. I don't want everything to be messy in my Sims houses. That's pretty nice. Ooh, and also I can put some more plants here. There we go. I'll clutter these shelves up more soon. This is a nice one. I'm going to shift this slightly so it's functional. I'm going to go ahead and place this in a place I enjoy more. I am pretty much using all build cheats, by the way. I'm not restricting myself. I don't think build cheats count as cheating. I think they just make your builds better. Okay, that makes it a teeny bit cuter. Wait, I think some cabinets up here would be pretty cute. Okay, this is cute. I would say this wall is done. I'm going to move into the main living room. You know, after it being here for a while, I really like this color. I just don't like that it doesn't match with the color of the appliances that I chose. Honestly, I love the color of the sofa so much. The appliances might just have to change. I want to bring some more wood tones, maybe some darker wood. I know you should technically not mix woods. You know what? Maybe we'll change the flooring. That brings it together more. I could keep it like that. Just kind of makes everything more high resolution. Ooh, this kind of matches with the floorboards. Ooh, this could be very coquette. Definitely need a rug. Like, without the rug, I don't think it works. Oh, okay, this one matches. But then it just kind of blends into each other. This is not the easiest thing. Okay, guys, so I finally found the perfect carpet. Yeah, it was one we had already seen, but I changed the sofa to match it, just so it could be a little bit cohesive. Yes, I loved that sofa color, but sometimes you have to sacrifice stuff for the build, annoyingly. Okay, so let's clutter this up and add the TV and stuff. Probably just add this like this, or I could raise it onto the fireplace. All right, nice. Let's go on to some plants. Ooh, this like dark blue. I don't know if there though. Yeah, maybe in this kitchen corner. Yeah, okay, I like that. I could work with that. I know it's a little bit more modern than the vibe we're going for, but I don't think it is bad. Okay, we're gonna add a bouquet of flowers on here just for it to look very coquette. I don't know if I want that color or the white. The white is a little bit more cohesive, so I'm gonna keep that. Right, what else should I add as a plant? I think I'm gonna make this bigger and then put it in this corner. Ooh, I like this plant. Ugh, doesn't fit anywhere. I'll put it in a different room. Also, I'm just quickly change the floorboards. So now that we have the main layout, I'm going to find the actual dining table and chairs I want for this build. Okay, so I've chosen this table because I feel like the black might be one of the darkest things in here. So it kind of just drags your focal point here, which I like, but I'm gonna struggle to find some dining chairs. One of the main colors of this build is becoming pale blue because I've chosen these dining chairs. I don't love them, but I feel like when we add colorful clutter, it might just bring it together. Now let's actually go into the details, like the full clutter. I'm not saying I haven't cluttered it because certain parts are definitely fully cluttered, especially this area, but the kitchen has no clutter and the living room doesn't really either. So I'm quickly going to scroll through miscellaneous decorations and find some things to add. I want the dining room to be functional. Even if I never use this apartment, I will just put a fruit bowl on the dining room and leave it at that. Let's try to find some more clutter. Okay, so I added one more thing. I added the grandma's urn, which is quite comical, but I'm just gonna use it as like a cookie jar. Okay, so again, there are children in the house, so I was thinking I could add a toy box maybe. There's this very coquette toy box, right? This one, and I don't know what color I'd use it in, but I think it really fits in with the house. I could just do this white one, to be honest. Yes, okay, I also want to add a bunch of cushions to this sofa because I love the details of the sofa, but it's very like naked sofa. I feel like most of the others have at least a pillow or a blanket on them. Okay, so I changed the color of the cushions and I added 3. I think it looks cute, and I might just add a few more things around here, and then we can move on to the kitchen clutter. Okay, so I added a little bit of random clutter, not too much, to the living room, and now I want to move on to the kitchen. Okay, so for the kitchen clutter, I've chosen 2 things so far. Just this little teacup set and this little tray of cake, something like that. Couldn't tell you. Also put some books here. We're gonna say they're a recipe book because I don't think people store their normal book in their kitchen, but oh well. I want to know where to place the sink because I haven't placed it yet. I was thinking of placing the sink in one of these 2. I think I like it more there. It just feels more ramped. I want to add some plants here. Maybe... Ooh, okay, this is cute. A little assortment of plants. I'm gonna rearrange until they're cute. And then this little flower. Okay, I like that. A few plants. It looks a little bit cramped, but maybe they get these little succulents from their daughter for like Parents' Day, and they just have a little collection going on. Because I used to give succulents to my parents for Mother's Day or Father's Day. I don't think we're gonna have space for a laundry room, but I might be able to make it work in one of the bedrooms. Okay, so since most of these counters are occupied, this is going to be the functional one, which means I'm just going to add one single decoration more right here. Let me just edge it to the end. I'm going to add a few more decorations here. Okay, so I added a little bit of random clutter there, and with that I think this whole room's done. Now we're moving on into the master bedroom. So quickly, I had a certain bed in mind, the one from Cottage Living, I think. Where is it? There we go. And I was thinking this base swatch could work. I mean, I might change it, but quite like the base swatch. And this is Coquette, but it's very grandma Coquette. We could either do the white one or this one, and I think this one's pretty cute. I know it's a slightly different turn from Coquette, and if I'm not using the word coquette correctly, please let me know. I don't want to offend anyone who it's their signature style, but I don't know that much about it. I just know it's very pretty. Okay, I kind of like that. Some sort of built-in nightstands. We could add some plants. Maybe these, no, too bright. Sure, this is pretty. I think there's a journal from Parenthood. That is probably something people would have in their nightstand. Okay, cute. There we go. I'll probably add the same stack of books we had on that to here. There we go. This is cute. Alright, now I want to add a signature rug. It might be the same as the one from the other room. I don't want to be too repetitive. I just can't find a pink one that seriously matches the vibe I'm going for. See, this one blends into the floorboards a little too much. Okay, we could do this base game one. I quite like it. It's just a little bit simple, but I think we can work with that. Alright, I want to do a little office here, but not like a standard office. I want a knitting office or a crafting table, like Minecraft out here. Okay, so this is everything that came with Nifty Knitting. It's actually not that much when you see it in your bar, but I want to create a little desk area where whatever sim lives here can unwind and knit. Okay, I like this. And ooh, but there's this one. I don't know which I like more. Okay, I think I like this one more. It fits our Coquette vibe slightly more. Alright, then we can do this, and a rocking chair would be nice. Maybe not an armless one. Ooh, a lilac. I think this is pretty, but there's too much white going on, so I'm not gonna do that. Here we can have the little trolley. Okay, I know this is cross stitching, but I think it'd be really cute to have some cross stitching work up there, and then I can have little projects on the desk. Oh yes, this is probably the most colorful area of the house, which not only do I want to make this cute, I want to make it realistic. So I don't want to make it just black and white and pink. I would say that's boring. If you guys prefer where I fully stick to the style, I could also do that. I think the few changes I just made makes it the teeniest bit more coquette, even though it's not really in the realm of coquette anymore. I want to create a little laundry area here. I'm thinking here is fine. So I'll just do the stack here. Move this a smidge. I love saying smidge. Very good word. Ooh, the light blue. Okay, we're doing that, and then obviously we need a laundry basket if we're playing with laundry. Okay, so one of the last things I want to add in here is a closet. I don't really know what. I feel like this is very coquette. Some more plants in here would be nice. Have a teeniest bit of grime. You can see that this is grimy, so maybe it's past the grime, even though I don't think that exists. Painting. Do some certificates or some law. Maybe she has a certificate in knitting. Maybe there's a Discover University knitting course. Okay guys, so I know it's not super cluttered, but I'd like to think this is what a normal room looks like. So I just added a few little kid-like decorations. So I think that would be it for this room, which means we only have a bathroom and the kids' bedroom left. I have better build and buy, so you can change the lighting in build mode. So I just wanted to do that to make it more cozy. Ooh, yes, I prefer that. I hope you guys prefer that. I feel like that made a huge difference. Okay, so now we are moving on into the kids' room. I still want to make it on brand as Coquette, but make it more childcore. I think this is still a Coquette bed, but it's still giving a bed a child would have, so I'm gonna go for that. And let's give this kid a desk. I don't know, maybe this very coquette desk, because this is extremely coquette in my opinion. I could do that. Okay, fair enough, I'll do that. And we don't have a computer, so I'm going to go ahead and give this lucky child a computer just so whoever's using this apartment can actually survive, because in the Sims, computers are so expensive, yet it's also so hard to live without them, which I think might be the best Sims metaphor for real life. Well, it's not really a metaphor, is it? I want to add some kids activities for this child to do, because right now they're a screen kid, because that's the only thing they have to do. So I'm gonna add an activity table maybe. Also, I have now confirmed that life stage. It's not gonna be a teen, it's gonna be a child. I feel like children are underrated in The Sims. We don't play with them enough, and that is myself included. I can't wait until Ashley, which if you don't know, is my main Let's Play on my channel, Miss Ashley Robbins. I can't wait until she has kids, because I love family gameplay, and I don't think I've ever played so slowly. I normally already have a family within 10 days of a save file existing, but I've been very patient with Ashley, which hopefully means it will be a lot sweeter when it's finally her time to have children and I can have her little family, which will be nice. Okay, this child must be really bored. I'm definitely not adding enough things like toys. Okay, this cat's cute. I really want a dollhouse. Oh, she's a girl, by the way, if you couldn't tell. There. Okay, that's nice. Okay, I've just sized up this tiny rug because I think it's the most coquette children's rug. I feel like I never use shelves or like floating shelves. Sometimes I use bookshelves. I don't know, it's just kind of weird in The Sims, in my opinion. I'm sure people use them. I might be the only one that doesn't use them that much. This is cute. Okay, so I slightly cluttered up the shelves. I know this is like some sort of dog item, but to me it just seems like some hygiene stuff. Okay, so I just finished the room. I added some wall decals, a teeny bit more clutter, and a few school projects on the wall. And we have our very last room, which is the bathroom, which is pretty boring, but we're still going to do it anyway because our Sims need the bathroom, and in fact they need it very often, so it's very important. I'm going to do a shower, not a bath, so they won't be able to have pets, but we could even make up a lore excuse that you get evicted if you get a pet or something like that. Okay, so I know this is basic, but it's just a bathroom, and realistically, bathrooms aren't that fancy. They're probably the least interesting room of your house. Anyways, so I would say that is it for the building. Now let's go into the tour. Okay, so when you walk in, this is what you are greeted by. This is the main part of the living room where you watch TV and hang out with your family. Then you have the kitchen and dining, which is pretty simple, not too much clutter, not a huge dining table, this little decorative corner, and then you have this little strip of entrance, you could call it. Then if we go into the master bedroom, you have this very cute little bed section with your dresser and important stuff, and then here you have the little laundry nook, and then our hobby nook, which is in this case is knitting. Now if we jump over here, we have the kids room, has the bed, a lot of clutter. The only computer in this house is in the kids room, which I find quite funny. Some activities, dollhouse, little bit of school projects. And then last we have a bathroom, which is definitely the most underwhelming room of the house. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this long play. I don't know if it's going to be that long, but it's not a speed build. I'm talking in real time, so I don't know what you'd call it. But I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe. Check out the rest of my channel. I'm a starting YouTuber, so that would really help. And thank you for watching. Bye!